Hello students, welcome to the Pole Science of Class 11 Arts, and today we will discuss about the remaining points related to the chapter Judiciary. In the last class we discussed up to point number 7, that is the judges of the Supreme Court and High Court are appointed by the President after consultation with Chief Justice of India. So let's proceed then from point number 8. So regarding the judges of the Supreme Court, the judges of the Supreme Court holds the office till the age of 65 years. So what is the retirement age of the judge of the Supreme Court that are appointed by the President? The retirement age is 65 years. The salaries of Supreme Court judges are determined by the Parliament by law, which are specified in the second schedule. That means regarding the salaries of the Supreme Court judges, the judges of the Supreme Courts and related to their salary, that is fixed by the Parliament through law. And why the Parliament fixes it through the law? Because it is specified in the second schedule of the Indian Constitution. Remember this. A judge of the Supreme Court or a High Court can be removed only on the ground of misbehavior or incapacity. If some charges are imposed against the judges, it must be approved by special majority in both the houses. Now, we know that the judge of the Supreme Court of the High Court are appointed by the President after consultation with the Chief Justice of India. But what is the condition to remove the judge of a Supreme Court or a High Court? The judge of Supreme Court or a High Court can be removed only on the ground of misbehavior or incapacity. Suppose he or she can only be removed on terms of two things. One, if he or she does misbehavior, or second, if he or she has incapacity to hold the position of the judge. Clear? If some charges are imposed against the judges, it must be approved by a special majority in both the houses. So apart from removing the judge through misbehavior and incapacity, the third condition is that if any charge of corruption or any discrepancy are brought forward, then that judges against the particular judges, then at that time the removal of judges must be approved by both the houses of the Parliament with a special majority. Clear? Only a few of the members from both the houses, if they make a willingness to remove the judge, that cannot be done, because if any charges are imposed against the judges, it must be approved, firstly approved by both the houses, and after approval it must be approved through a special majority, whatever it is fixed. Clear? This is related to the removal of the judges. When the office of the Chief Justice falls vacant, the duties may be performed by the other judge of the same category to whom the President may appoint for the same purpose. So suppose assume that the present Chief Justice of India, clear, if he or she or the post for the Chief Justice falls vacant, that means no appointment has been done for the time being after the retirement of the Chief Justice, then at that time what will happen? The post of that particular Chief Justice will be looked over by whom? The senior most judges. Why the senior most judges? Because that should be looked by the senior most judges who is almost eligible, or who will be of course appointed by the President under Article 124 of the Indian Constitution, because that senior most judge will automatically be appointed as the Chief Justice of India. So the senior most judge may look after the works and the post related to the Chief Justice if suppose that is falling vacant. And on the other hand, the President may also appoint the same person in the post of Chief Justice of India. Clear? The Supreme Court exercises its jurisdiction in the form of original, right, appellate, advisory and special powers. Clear? So these are categorized into what the Supreme Court actually, what are the jurisdiction, what are the works that Supreme Court looks after, is divided into 5 parts. One is original jurisdiction, then right, appellate jurisdiction, advisory jurisdiction, and special powers. Clear? So regarding original jurisdiction, what are the works that is related to the Supreme Court when it comes to jurisdiction in the form of original powers to settle disputes between the union and states and among states. So under original jurisdiction, the Supreme Court does what? The Supreme Court actually settles disputes between center and state or among the state government. So suppose any dispute, if it is there and this dispute has arisen between any central government, any state government and the central government, or suppose assume that between two state governments, then it is the duty of Supreme Court under the head of original jurisdiction to settle the disputes as soon as possible. Now coming to the second form of jurisdiction that the Supreme Court looks after is the right. So under right, it can issue constitutional rights to protect fundamental rights of the people. So if the Supreme Court feels that the fundamental rights of the people is in danger, so at that time it can issue constitutional rights in order to protect fundamental rights. That means whatever the fundamental rights are given to us, that cannot even be changed by the government. So in that matter, if the Supreme Court feels that the fundamental rights is in danger of the people, then at that time, through the jurisdiction or under right, it can issue constitutional rights to protect fundamental rights of the people. Then coming to the third area of jurisdiction, that is appellate jurisdiction. Under this, it tries appeals in civil, criminal and constitutional cases. So under appellate jurisdiction, what does the Supreme Court does? The Supreme Court tries appeals in civil. Whatever the appeals it is there related to the civil cases, criminal cases and the constitutional cases, related to these three cases, it tries appeals. That means whoever appeals related to the cases of civil, criminal, constitutional cases, it tries that under appellate jurisdiction. Now coming under the fourth jurisdiction, it is advisory jurisdiction, and under this, the Supreme Court advises the President on the matters of public importance and law. Now the Supreme Court under the jurisdiction of advisory, under advisory jurisdiction, what it does, the work, the Supreme Court actually advises the President on the matters of public importance and law. Whatever the matters related to public importance and law is there, it advises the President under advisory jurisdiction. Now coming to the last, exercising its last jurisdiction, the last point is special powers. Under special powers, the Supreme Court can grant special leave to an appeal from any judgment or matter passed by any court in the territory of India. That means, suppose assume that the Supreme Court is the highest court in the country. That means if any particular cases is being tried at the district or sessions court or the high court, if that case or if that particular case, any verdict has been forwarded, at that time what the Supreme Court can do under special powers related to that special case, if somebody appeals to take a leave on the particular case, the Supreme Court can grant special leave to that judgment or the verdict passed by any court in the territory of India. Understood? That means if any judgment has been forwarded or any verdict has been forwarded, that verdict or judgment can be given a leave provided by an appeal from the concerned individual. Next point, the decisions of the Supreme Court are binding on all courts. It can transfer the judges of high courts, can move cases from any court to itself, or can transfer cases from one high court to another. So regarding the powers of the Supreme Court, these are, first of all, regarding the powers of Supreme Court, whatever the decisions of the Supreme Court are binding on all courts. That means whatever the Supreme Court will give decisions, that should be abided by all the courts under or all the lower courts under Supreme Court. That should be abided by all courts. Number 2, it can transfer the judges of high courts. And regarding the transfer of high courts, judges of the high courts, it can transfer judges of any high courts to other place. Then regarding number 3, it can move cases from any court to itself. That means if it feels that a particular case is very important to be heard in the Supreme Court, then the Supreme Court can do what? It can move that particular hearing from any high court of any state to the Supreme Court itself. And number 4, it can transfer cases from one high court to another. And regarding the transfer of cases, number 1 was that it can transfer case from any high court to itself. And number 2 condition is that it can transfer case from any high court to the other high court of any state. So these are some of the important powers, that every decision should be abided by all the courts. Number 2, it can transfer the judges of any high court. It can move, number 3 is it can move cases from any court to itself. And number 4 is that it can transfer cases from one high court to another. So moving on to the last point, the high court hears appeals from lower courts, can issue rights to resort fundamental rights, can deal with the cases within jurisdiction of the states, and exercise control and superintendence over its subordinate courts. So what are some of the powers of high courts? The high courts hears appeals from the lower courts. That means lower than high court are district or session court. So the high court will hear appeal from the lower courts, number 1. And number 2, it can issue rights to resort fundamental rights. So rights can be issued by the high court. Why the rights are issued? The rights are issued only for one reason. If the fundamental rights of any individual is in danger, at that moment the high court will issue rights to resort fundamental rights. After that, number 3, it can deal with the cases within jurisdiction of the states. That means if any high court, suppose High Court of Assam or High Court of Delhi, will look after the cases within the specific area of Delhi only. The High Court of Delhi cannot look after the cases of other states, suppose Haryana or Punjab. So for that reason, the High Court can only deal with the cases within the jurisdiction of the states. Number 4, it exercises control and superintendence over its subordinate courts. And in the way the Supreme Court is controlling over all the lower courts under them, namely High Court and subordinate courts, in the same way the High Court has also the power to control and look after the lower subordinate courts. It may be session court, district court, criminal court under its jurisdiction. So regarding 4 powers that the High Court enjoys is that it hears appeals from lower courts. Number 2 is it can issue rights to restore fundamental rights of the individual. It can deal with the cases within jurisdiction of its own state. And number 4, it exercises control and superintendence over its subordinate courts. Clear? So with this, I will wind up today's topic related to judiciary. And please make a note down of all this in your copy. Thank you.